Hello and welcome to the Met Office 10-day trend, a 10-day period that takes us into March and the start of the meteorological spring. Because spring hasn't started yet. You may have been fooled by the record-breaking winter warmth of the last few days. However, that won't last. As we start spring, we're back to normal, and that means low pressure returns, bringing wind, rain, much lower temperatures, even some hill snow. But for the time being, we are still seeing a lot of warm air across the UK, the jet stream well to the north of the country throughout Wednesday, the last day of the warm sunshine. Completely different story across North America, where we have Arctic air pushing south across Canada, parts of the US as well. Why is that important? Because that Arctic air plunges into the Atlantic, and the contrast between the Arctic air and the Atlantic air fuels an increasingly powerful jet stream. That will push away the ridge in the jet stream over the UK, and it will return weather fronts, Atlantic wind and rain to our shores. Thursday's a day of change. It's not going to be desperately unsettled, but certainly a lot more cloud around compared to recent days. A grey day, mist and fog in places as well, and a few showers turning up Northern Ireland, parts of England and Wales. Hit and miss downpours, but welcome rain for some, I suspect. 14 degrees in the south, so still temperatures higher than normal, but certainly not on the scale of recent days. Now, we say goodbye to that weather front on Thursday night, and Friday starts off fine before more rain crosses the country through Friday night, so more wet weather to come as we go into the weekend. And these weather fronts break the seal. We're back into westerlies, we're back into Atlantic-driven weather on that powerful jet stream, which will carry low-pressure systems towards us, and it's this low pressure that will dominate the weather through the weekend effectively. Now that's going to bring some heavy rainfall to northern and western areas at first on Saturday, the rain crossing the country through the day and the wind making it feel much colder compared to recent weather. But of course temperatures actually not far from average, so it's not a cold spell, it's just back to normal. 12 degrees in the south, 8 further north. Now, the wind is important later Saturday because there's a risk of gales, especially in the northwest, around coastal areas as well. Once that moves through, though, Sunday's a blustery day. It's going to stay windy, isobars closely packed together, and you can see frequent showers coming into northern Britain. You'll even see some hail or some snow over the hills. So it's going to feel cold on Sunday because of that wind. But like I say, temperatures not far from average, close enough in the north, a little bit above still further south. But it's across southwestern areas where we're going to see it turn wet again later Sunday as this next area of low pressure moves through. A wet night to come for England and Wales, and the risk of gales along coastal areas in the south through Sunday night. Now, as that rain clears out of the way on Monday, cold air pushes south from the north, and the mix of that cold air with the rain, well, it could lead to some snow in places across central areas. Still a few days to go before that happens, so still some uncertainty, but certainly something we'll watch closely over the next few days. So the chance of some transient snow as that clears away during Monday through central parts of the UK, and temperatures, like I say, back to around average for the beginning of March. And then really, as we head into the rest of next week, well, the jet stream still plays an active role. It's more or less to the south of the UK, and it's going to continue to drive low-pressure systems our way. We'll tend to be on the cold side of the jet stream as well. And so rather than go through a detailed description of what's happening day to day and from place to place, because we'd be here all day, it's suffice to say the weather will change from day to day and from place to place. We're going to have a mixture of everything, 4 seasons in one day sort of fare. In other words, typical March weather. And that means it's going to feel very different to the weather this week. Cold winds return from the west and the northwest, but we'll also see some sunny spells at times. We will have quite a few showers or even longer spells of rain. Welcome rain, like I say, so it's good for the gardens and so on. But of course, the weather is going to be back to normal. More details as ever online through our app and via our social media channels. Bye-bye.